Hey guys, welcome back to Chaotic TV. We're bringing you more IPL5 action. In the bottom right on Ohana, we have the Blue Zerg playing for Team Startale, winner of Iron Squid GSL Season 4 of 2012 and the GSL Blizzard Cup, to name only a few of his latter 2012 achievements. It is Life. His opponent in the top left in this winner's round 1, the Green Protoss, formerly of Check 6 Gaming, hence his ID. Now he plays for Quantic since the merger. It is Perfect, an American. Life, of course, is a Korean, and he had a great 2012. First Royal Rotor of GSL and everything, but Perfect is playing on his old Check 6 account for North America, since this is IPL5. And this was actually before Life took the GSL World Cup, as well as the, what do you call it? The Iron Squid Chapter 2 achievement. He was able to play the Korea versus the World tournament once he was here at IPL5. I think he lost to Stefano, who went for 4 games, or maybe it was Stefano going for 4 games before he came up against Life, who took him out for the finale and brought the world 4-5 against Korea. Korea winning 5-4 essentially. Now, to jump into their Twitter accounts, Startale Life, this Blue Zerg fella down meow, is going pool first. He is Startale_Life. Very simple, very cool. And Perfect is IM, no apostrophe, Perfect SC. So essentially, it's very simple. But I'll of course have these underneath the video on YouTube, and we're bringing you still winners round 1, so there's always going to be somebody you know and somebody you don't know. It's a great way to introduce new players, especially people like Perfect, who has not even a wall off yet. He's going for a forge in the main, which is very acceptable on this map. It's something you don't normally see on some other maps that you really do need the extra wall off, but on something like Ohana, where it's got a very decent choke with the medium ramp. This is a small ramp, this is a medium ramp. On Ohana, you're going to be able to essentially wall it off without much care. I mean, he got the forge on the high ground gateway here. He's going to have a Cybernetics core or more gateways if he feels safe enough to put the a bit of lag there since the patch 2.0.4. But since this is a replay from before the patch, we're going to have a bit of lag issues, and I'll just have to edit those in post, which means I'll have to watch all of these, which means it'll be even longer to get up online, which is unfortunate, but probably true. Now, Life has an Overlord here. It's just waiting for that Cybernetics core before it skedaddles, because it doesn't want to face up against any stalkers that would come out. Life putting up a couple of Overlords across the map just to make sure that there are no forward pylons. He's using these Overlords to great effect and getting his second hatchery down at the same time, and continuing to drone, of course. He's not going to put up a Roach Warren until he sees what kind of play is coming out of his opponent. If he sees an Immortal Push coming across the map, which is possible, because the Immortal Push has been around long enough for Americans to adopt it without it having gone out of style, especially by pro players like Parting, whom Life practiced against until early January, when Parting left the Startale team. So he was able to learn how to defend against that for quite a while. I believe they actually fought against each other in GSL Season 4, where it was an all Startale. No, excuse me, that was against MVP. Don't know what I'm remembering. Maybe it was the Blizzard Cup that they played against each other. Startale v Startale. We're going to see more pylons, of course, out of Perfect as he tries to continue to gain up his economy and his supply cap. Again, with the lag, I'm actually not liking that, and I hope it doesn't actually pervade for a while. I hope they do a hot fix on the patching. We see a robotics facility, which is not uncommon coming out of these players. We do see that one of the Overlords has been killed by this stalker. You can see it's got a single kill down here underneath, and more gateways are being stacked on for Perfect. So we're going to see this probably settle into a bit of a normal game. Life might put down a third, or he might even just jump into 2-base Mutaplay if he feels ever so inclined. He's putting down an Evolution Chamber, which tells me he's not going to go into that Mutaplay as well as I might want him to, but the later will tell us what he's going to do afterwards. He's already getting enough supply up here in the top right. As you can see, he's 51 of 68, leaving him plenty of supply to continue to drone or do whatever he wills with it. He's getting +1 ground carapace, which tells me he's going to be going for a bit of a... if he goes for a Baneling bust, I'll be actually pretty happy about that. There's not too much here that Perfect could do about it, but of course with that warp gate technology, he's going to be doing a lot of warp-ins once it finishes, and his supply will catch up quite quickly against this Startale player. Now the rocks are still available for life to kill. He doesn't have any roaches or anything like that to kill him. The lings that he does have are taking map control a little bit just with these forward Zelmaga towers. You can check to see that there's not a third base out of Perfect, which is something he might expect from a very, very greedy Korean, but something you really shouldn't expect from a Protoss of the American persuasion. Now warp gates are finished and more gateways are being done right here. Now he will start to warp in. As you can already see, he's getting more sentries for the defensive play, and there's still no forward pylons that Life has been able to find from the former Czech 6 player Perfect, hence the ID. He's going to run up here and see that there are plenty of sentries. Excuse my yawning, I just got back from potting a little bit. He was able to get all of the sentries inbound, losing a couple of them, losing 3 of them before they were able to get into the main. He sees that there's no hidden Stargate here, and he checks to see that there's the forge is actually being worked on right now, getting an upgrade, getting that plus ground weapons, which is ever so important against the Zerg. Against the Terran, you would want to get the armor in case they're going bio, because if they are going bio, then having 1,000 beasts stinging you at a lesser percentage is much better than having a bunch of boars and tanks hitting you. In which case you would want to go for an attack or something like that. But since he's going against Zerg, the Protoss player is going for an attack, and since the Zerg is going against a Protoss, the Zerg is going for a Carapace before melee, and since he's going melee and getting this extra hatch, his production tells me he's going to switch into something of a Ling Roach Infestor play. And you can see from the production tab that he's already starting his Infestor production. He's getting the fungal growth increase. He's getting a Roach Warren for safety's sake. He's already gotten the something glands. I'm actually forgetting what they actually are. I can't remember the name of the actual tech right now, but we're going to see a little bit of a push from Life. Now, Perfect has the supply lead, which is something that you don't normally see. He is actually doing this Immortal Sentry push, bringing a bunch of sentries across the map. They have already used up all of their energy, which is why that Life push earlier made so much sense. If he puts down even a couple of force fields, that will be all well and true done for him, but there are plenty of Lings and more Infestors coming out for that free energy of Infested Terrans, excuse me. This extra high grass in the middle changes the dynamic of this map so much you wouldn't actually believe it. Now, the Zerglings are going to go over here and try to cancel this third Nexus, which is going to be extra crucial for Life, because he's trying to delay this Immortal Sentry attack as long as he possibly can. He's getting out some Roaches and even more Infestors, including his Roach speed and extra upgrades of that +1 melee and missile attacks variety. More Roaches indeed coming out, another Immortals coming out, which is going to negate a little bit of the Roach attack. And now that he's lost 6 whole Lings and forced 2 force fields out of his Protoss opponent, as well as weakening the Nexus, he's going to be able to have delayed this so long. He's actually killing... How many Harvesters have we lost here? 18 Harvesters! Over 20 now lost by Life. They're all in hold position so that they just hit whatever probe comes by, and he has done quite a bit of number of damage to the income of the Protoss player. You can see that he's taken that 600 income lead, which is about the same as their Harvester count would be, about similar right now. 64 against 46. He's lost 29 workers. The Protoss player would have been further ahead, but he probably wouldn't have made as many if he had reached that maximum enjoyable Harvester count. But Life already has, since he delayed that attack so much, he's got so many Infestors right now. He's got plenty of energy on all of them thanks to that pathogen glands. That's the name of the upgrade, and plenty of roaches available here to continue this attack. He's probably just going to move forward here and push Perfect right off the edge of Ohana into the sea, because he's only got so many immortals here to take out the roaches, and now this Colossus is here. There's not enough tanking zealots to take out these roaches that are coming across the map. More Zergling reinforcements will as well move forward, but Life with his perfect micro will be able to push against this entire Protoss force with just infested Terrans and a couple of fungals here and there to take out as many sentries as he can. The roaches are doing whatever damage they can, along with this backup of the infested Terrans, single targeting the immortals right now, and you just see how quickly everything is falling for the Protoss player. He's down half the supply of the Korean Startale player, and it looks like even more reinforcements are coming forward right now. The resources lost tab is heavily in favor of Life, having lost 3,500 less than the Protoss player. He's pulling his probes and moving them down to the third base to try to protect him a little bit, because he's got to move them through his army. His forge is on level 2 ground weapons, but he's also losing a couple more harvesters at home. He lost 53 workers so far. The harvester count for these players is 38 versus 73. Life is even taking fourth base, and it looks like Perfect is just SOL when it comes to this. His probes continue to advance back and forth between the natural and the third base, and Life is continuing to build up back home for even a further push. If he comes in with this right now, I would be just so disheartened as Perfect. I don't really know what to do. He's getting charge lot legs, and he's getting plus weapons level 2, but since he's lost so many harvesters, I don't think he's the economy to build up against Life. Life can come in with just an even incredible amount of roaches however he wants. He's up 100 supply almost right now. The infested Terran account alone would probably be enough to kill all of this. You can see how many are on the map right now. There are 16 that were put down, and he's got still plenty of energy here for Fungers against the 3 sentries that are available and a couple of zealots that are coming forward. The supply difference is now at least over 100, and there it is. Formerly check 6, now Quantic Gaming's Perfect taps out against Startale's Life. We're going to jump into Game 2 and see if the American can take over a game from the Korean in just a second on Chaotic TV. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. We'll see you soon. Cheers.